Would you say research is essential to your job?
I think research is critical. There really is no substitute for good research, and I see it. And I don't think it's just true with my job. I think it's true with writers. I think it's true with directors. It's true with everybody. I think that you have to kind of go in and, as I've talked to some students and when I've been teaching, I said you have to kind of fill up that well. You have to, no matter what it is you're doing. I don't care whether it's just a standard living room or you're doing a difficult period piece or whatever. I think that you go and you gather together as much, in my case, visual research as you possibly can at first, just little bits and pieces, whether it's a magazine clipping or something on the web or a book or whatever, and you put that in your brain, and then you kind of let it sit there, and then pretty soon the image of this world starts to kind of emerge from filling that up. So, and that usually, nobody has an encyclopedic mind, and so it's always necessary, no matter how good you are at art history or whatever, you still have to go and take a look at. If I was doing Victorian, I know what Victorian looks like, but I would still go back and look at it again and remind myself, oh yes, that detail, because it's all about, what art direction is all about is visual cues, that when the audience looks at it, it triggers something in their mind that says, okay, now I know where we are, or I understand what this environment is, or who these people are. I can give you the simplest distillation of what that visual cue is on Roseanne. When I was doing Roseanne, on the back of the sofa was an Afghan. Everybody who has watched Roseanne asked me about that Afghan and said, I remember on Roseanne you had that Afghan on the back of the sofa, okay? Instantly, when people saw that, they knew where they were. It triggered, I guess everybody's grandmother must have knitted an Afghan at one time or another, and they all had one sitting around somewhere. So you instantly knew who those people were, you knew what it was about, you knew the class level. It was something that everybody instantly identified with. And that's kind of what an art director or production designer's job is about, is to find those cues that will give the audience a sense of what's going on or where they are, or support the script, or this environment. That's what our job is. If you have an environment that just is kind of neutral and whatever, there's no kind of subjective element that goes along with it, and that's the tricky part. We can all do it's easy to do kind of objective, pretty, stuff. All you have to do is open up a page of Architectural Digest, and you see this kind of pretty, lots of flowers and and things, and you go, oh, that's pretty. But
it's almost untouchable.
Yeah, you look at it and go, well, who lives there? Like, where's their stuff? You know what I mean? I don't identify too much with that, and not too many people would unless they were incredibly wealthy. So it's like you don't believe it, and we have to remember that what this medium and film and everything is about is a suspension of disbelief. Okay, if we don't believe it and we don't feel comfortable in it, that isn't going to happen. And so you can't get into the characters, you can't get into the words, you can't get into anything. If you don't believe where they are, you're just going to turn it off and say, I don't get this. I don't know what this is about.